A woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn. Of course her parents don't have a problem with me being black. She's past the wall. Get your fat ass off the couch, start lifting weights, and learn game. You're welcome. So you got drunk at a frat party, then fucked the football team? You're not a rape victim, sweetheart. You're a slut.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 354th edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of red pill truth, wisdom, and awareness. It is Monday, November 5th, 2018. We are brought to you in part by 1821manmade.com, your one-stop shop for all of your beard grooming needs. They also have body wash and cologne to complete your fragrance-inspired grooming. They're not the cheapest out there, but they are the best. So visit 1821manmade.com today and take your beard game to the next level. We are also brought to you by Happy Hippo Herbals, home of the highest quality kratom on the planet. With more than 3 dozen strains to choose from, Happy Hippo kratom can help you relax. It can give you a burst of energy. It can enhance your mood, or it can make you fearless when talking to girls. And when you pay with Bitcoin, you'll get 20% off your entire order. That includes your shipping, gentlemen. So visit happyhippoherbals.com today to get your hands on the highest quality, the highest grade, and purest kratom on the planet. All right, guys, let's get right to it. My guest tonight, or today, actually, it's already starting to get dark out here in Philly. Jesus Christ. My guest today is making his, I think, your third or fourth appearance on the show. He goes by the name of Pine. He also goes by Ketosian. He's the most knowledgeable person I have ever spoken to with regards to the keto diet. I, of course, am talking about Pine, Ketosian, Pine Frank, whatever you want to call him. Pine, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Oh, what's going on, Donovan? It's good to be back.
Yeah, good, man. So let's get right to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the 3 reasons why your diet sucks, why your diet isn't working. Listen, man, a lot of people have a lot of different reasons that their diet isn't working. Listen, they're excuses. It is what it is. People have seen my before and after pictures, so you guys know it absolutely can be done. So reason number 1 is you are fucking lazy. Listen, man, every diet works, right? Different diets work to different degrees. But at the end of the day, if you stick with the diet, it is going to work. Every workout program works, whether you're doing strong lifts by 5x5, if you do spin class, if you're doing CrossFit, if you're doing cross training, whatever it is that you do, nothing works if you don't do it consistently. That includes your diet. So reason number 1 is you are fucking lazy. Take it from there.
Well, you hit it on the head. And I hear this excuse all the time. It doesn't work. Well, then I ask them, so how much have you been doing it? How much time have you been putting into it? Have you been sticking to it?
Right.
And the answer is, yeah, kind of, no. Oh my God, I tried. Yeah, no, I don't play that game. I hold people to it, hold it accountable. And actually, your speech on the 21 convention, I thought was particularly poignant to this. They don't want to pay the price.
Right.
You know, getting to this point isn't easy. I used to be 300 pounds too. We've shared the photos and you've seen me in person.
Oh, yeah.
I have the stretch marks to prove it. I mean, I don't like to show them, but I have them there. It sucks. But it's the price you pay for having lived that life. And I'm consistently reminded. And you saw me at the 21 convention. What was I doing?
See, here's the thing, right? And it's funny because a lot of guys, and you pointed this out off the air, a lot of guys say, well, it's hard to stick with my diet on the road. Well, Pine is on what we call the carnivore diet, straight red meat. This dude brought 2 pounds, 3 pounds. It was a hunk of meat, a hunk of red meat. He used his sous vide in my room at the 21 convention. I don't know how the thing works. I got one for Devin a while back. He cooked his meat, then took a blowtorch, literally took a blowtorch and seared the rest of it. It can be done, but you have to want to do it. And just like Pine just said, you got to be willing to pay the price. You have to be willing to deprive yourselves of life's indulgences. Unless you're burning 5,000 calories in the weight room, then there's really no excuse to not be sticking with your diet.
Yeah, I'd agree. Even then, 5,000 calories in the weight room, that's kind of a battle I'll have with people. Because remember, you can't outtrain a bad diet.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Shout out to the mod squad in TSR Towers. Charles Caballero says, now that is a pimp beard. Yeah, man. I got the sickle and daggers look going on. I do this every even numbered, summer or fall, whichever. And listen, man, I do this all myself. My hairline, everything is totally me. Yes, I'm bragging. Nick Loizaga says, hey, Donovan, best regards to all. Good to see you in here. Charles Caballero says, you called it with the Redskins being overrated. I'll get to that later. Ryan Sullivan also points out the beard, mixing it up with the beard style. Yeah, I don't want to be stagnant. And my beard was actually getting kind of long and scraggly. This look allows me to keep it close, but it allows me to have sort of a defined look. Sway Senator says, what's going on, Donovan? The chat can't stick around since I'm still at work. Hope you have a great show. Yes, do not watch my show at work. You can watch this particular show at your job because we're talking about why your diet doesn't work, 3 reasons your diet doesn't work. But when I give you, 8 types of sluts and how to game them, then yeah, you probably shouldn't be listening. Probably shouldn't be listening at work. Joby One Coyote says, some chick just tried to get me to open up on my emotions over a plate I just dropped. I'm officially emotionless and bitter at the same time, apparently. Very good. Ryan Sullivan, now this is actually a good comment here by Ryan Sullivan. He says, I thought diets failed because people overeat. What do you say about that?
Okay, so I tried to play with that. It's not how much you eat, it's what you eat, because you have to understand how the storage mechanism works for fat. So there for a while, I took a break from working out at all, about a month, and I ramped up to about 6,000 calories a day. This is back when I was still keto, right? Just to see if I would gain weight. I really didn't. It wasn't so much because of what I was eating, because you have to have the insulin levels in order to start your storage. Well, if you're eating in a ketogenic state, you're not producing the insulin levels, so you're not going to store. If you're eating 6,000 calories in French fries every day, you're going to explode. That's the way it's going to happen.
Here's another comment here by Marcus says, dare I say, no quote diet works. You have to adopt a lifestyle change of eating better instead, since diets tend to end after you have reached your goal. I've said this before, not to that degree, but I have said before that diet connotes something that's temporary. I think this is a lot. I think a lot of this has to do with why people fail with their diets, is because just like Marcus says, once you've reached your goal, then what are you supposed to do? Go back to what you were doing before? I think the vernacular also has a lot to do with the failure. What say you?
I agree wholeheartedly. It's not a diet; it's a lifestyle change. It's just diet's the easiest way for most people to get to it.
Okay.
I was actually having a conversation with this last night with a few coworkers. I personally don't see it as a diet. I see it as my lifestyle change.
Okay.
Yes, and every once in a while I do take a cheat day, but very rarely. Very rarely.
When do you take cheat days? Is it a random thing? Is it something that you've decided to do beforehand? How does that generally work?
It's either planned or it's random. Actually just last week I took a cheat day. Miami J was in town. So I took the opportunity to go hang out with him, and I demolished a whole 16-inch pizza to myself. Now, did I pay the price for that? Hell yeah, I did. I gained probably a good 15 pounds off that one cheat meal.
Wow.
And I just now got back to where I was today. So.
Wow, man, that is unbelievable. That is unbelievable. That just goes to show, and we hear about this all the time, right? We hear that it's 20% gym, 80% diet. The only time that particular statistic gets skewed is we're talking about bodybuilders. Now, if you're a bodybuilder, if you're getting to be the size like Phil Heath or Jay Cutler or Ronnie Coleman, yeah, you can't get that big without heavy steroids and eating 10 to 12,000 calories a day. But for the rest of us that want to get fit, that want to get lean, it is absolutely, you got to put the work in the gym, but you absolutely have to tighten up that diet. Otherwise, it's just not going to work, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I really don't disagree with that. If you're going the bodybuilder route, you're also working with other things. You need the carbs to trigger IGF-1 growth. It's a whole nother mess altogether to get into. I'm saying for the average person who's not trying to get, huge, humongous, want to have to walk through doors sideways, you really don't need to go that route.
Gotcha. Shout out to Miami J. who is making an appearance. I'm actually going to be doing the the midterm post-election special with Miami J right here on this channel, same bat time, same bat channel, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. I'm not a political idiot. I know enough about politics to not sound like an idiot, but next to Miami J, I sound like an idiot. So I'm going to bring him on, and we're going to talk about we're going to talk about politics. We're going to talk about the midterm elections, what it means for 2020, et cetera, et cetera. So you guys certainly want to take, you guys are certainly going to want to come around for that. Also, I've got a number of guests coming up this week. And if I can just do a shameless plug on my own show, I've got Rollo Tomasi and Steve Dean Williams, both coming on Thursday. I'll have them on Thursday show tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. I'm going to have Modern Life Dating come on to talk about how to triple your Tinder. Jonathan from Modern Life Dating is an online dating ace. This guy shoots him down probably better than the sniper rifle back there. Back there that Pines got back there. This guy is a world-class online dating Casanova. He's going to be on my show tomorrow at 10 Eastern to discuss how it works, how he does it, and how you can do it too. So it's going to be Modern Life Dating. Then it's going to be Miami J in the afternoon. Then Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon, I'm going to have Drew Bay on. He is a fitness expert. Thursday, I'm going to have Rollo and Steve on. And then Friday, we're going to go back to the online dating community. We're going to have Black Label Logic, who came in and dropped bombs this past, I think it was Thursday, and gave statistics on, dare I say, black women. Needless to say, I had to take that one off of YouTube. So listen, man, I've got a great week of shows here for you guys. Let's go to the chat here real quick before we go to number 2. Let's see. Actually, I'm sorry. Toe41 says I lost 60 pounds on the keto diet for 3 months. Jesus fucking Christ. It works. Wow. Miami J says, so you forgot to mention that Pine seared the chunk on meat with a manly blowtorch in front of the gay rights parade. Now that I didn't know. I knew about the meat cooked in my room, but I didn't know that you torched the fucker in front of the gay pride parade. How about that shit, man?
That actually wasn't intentional. That kind of happened on accident. So
wow.
That was the last day when they were having the parade. So I went out back to make lunch, and Miami J's there with me. He has to let me back in and out. But I'm out there with a blowtorch, just basically searing beef in front of the gay pride parade. Just sitting there waving at people, blowtorching away. People are snapping pictures, taking videos. They're walking by. But yeah, that was something I totally forgot about.
Wow, dude. I did. Listen, that's certainly news to me. That's a great story to tell. Charles Caballero says I lost 100 pounds in 8 months. One thing I did was signing up for OCR races like Spartan. Nothing more motivating than going on a 13-mile run with walls, lifting stones, and walking up mountains. Yeah, Charles is a strong guy. Like I've met him in person at the 21 convention. Charles is definitely a stand-up guy. Listen, Charles is going to be killing the game. But yeah, Charles was one. He was one of the guys that had the firmest handshake. So you can always tell a man's masculinity by his handshake. And some guys might say, Donovan, that's not the only way. Yeah, but it's a pretty damn good indication.
Mm-hmm.
See what else we got here. Ryan Sullivan, shout out to Kevin Ibanez, my man out there in DC. Ryan Sullivan says, I thought the keto diet worked because the majority of the calories come from carbs. I believe 60% of your average American diet. What do you say to that? What do you say to that particular comment? I'm not sure what he's saying, but he says, again, I thought the keto diet worked because the majority of calories come from carbs. That's inaccurate because the majority
I'm not sure what he's getting. I think he said, and I think what he means is the keto diet works because most people's diets, the majority of their calories come from carbs. So it takes that out. And that is on a large scale. If I don't want to get too deep in the weeds here, that is technically how it works. But there's more to it than that.
Okay. All right. Joby Juan Coyote says it may be ADHD making me more sensitive to these things, but I definitely notice a deficit in energy, mind cognition, and overall logic the day after my cheat day. You have told me about this before. You have, and it's funny because and we're going to get into the calibration. That's going to be reason number 2. But you have told me that, and Pine pays attention to his body. And if he adds like an egg or something is just a little bit off, you pay the price immediately. What do you think about Joby Juan Coyote's assertion that if he has a cheat day, he's basically in a brain fog all day?
Well, I like to call it getting carb drunk.
Okay.
I feel like I'm drunk afterwards. Miami J actually got to see it. We had a cheat day the first day of the convention, and I was just wrecked for the rest of the week. I mean, I had something, it affected me the rest of the week. Um, as far as, and just last week when I took that cheat day with him, I was wrecked for a week after that.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's cheat days for me are few and far between, simply because the ramifications that come with that. I feel groggy. I feel slow. I feel like I've had a few rounds of beers, or a couple shots, and my brain's kind of, not quite all there.
It really is like that. You really are in kind of a fog.
Yeah, absolutely. It's terrible, and I don't advocate that for anybody.
Miami J cosigns. It says I had 2 slices of that pizza. My guess is that you had the rest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? It's funny. I actually have a big appetite myself. Devin did not realize how big an appetite I had, but it was funny. So we went to Hawaii almost 2 years to the day. We went a couple of Octobers ago, and we get to Phoenix, and we decided we're both tired, right? We've been flying all day. So we get to Phoenix, and we're going to spend the night in Phoenix before we fly to the island the next day. And we order a pizza. She had 1 slice. I had the rest. So she found out very quickly that as a big guy, I definitely have a big appetite. Let's see here. There was one. Oh, Bruno Goetz asks a very good question. He wants to know what your thoughts are on Tim Ferriss's slow carb diet. If you're familiar, with that?
No, but I've read up on the slow carb diet before. I can't be intimately familiar with his because I've never tried it. But from what I understanding, it's talking about low glycemic carbohydrates and how they affect your things, or how they affect your body.
Okay.
I've never messed with it. I can't say one way or the other. And at this moment in time, unless I play with it, unless I try it with my body, I can't comment on it. So.
Okay. All right. Very good. Good answer. And that's one thing I appreciate about Pine. He knows what he knows, but then he doesn't pretend like he knows everything. And listen, I say the same thing. I'm not a financial expert, but I got a pretty sizable nest egg waiting on me. I'm not a fitness or diet expert, but you guys have seen my before and after pictures. Obviously, I know a little bit about what I'm talking about, but I'm never going to comment on shit that I don't know. This is why I call my show The Sharpe Reality, not the Sharpe what somebody else said, not the Sharpe what I read on the blog. TSR. All right. Well, let's go to the next part here. The second reason that Frank wanted to point out is your diet. Number 2, your diet is improperly calibrated. Basically, and you said it right here, all too often I ask people, what are they eating in terms of grams of fat, carbs, and protein? Expound on that a little bit.
Okay, so we're talking about macronutrient ratios, right?
Yes.
So your macronutrient ratios, your fat, your protein, and your carbohydrates. It's your combination, your intake of those in grams. And there are formulas to do it using your basal metabolic rate to figure out how to work things. If you want to go into a ketogenic or if you want to go into a high glycolytic state, it kind of depends on you, what you're trying to achieve. Look, if you're a world-class champion sprinter, I don't think you'd want to be on the ketogenic diet. You just don't have the explosive energy you need. Now, granted, there are some ultra marathon runners who are doing the 100-mile plus marathon runs. They're strictly ketogenic. So they can do that insane long burn energy. And I mean, watch these guys chug a gallon of canola oil before they go run. It's ridiculous. Now, I wouldn't personally do that because I don't run, except from the cops. That's a whole nother story altogether. But yeah, no. As far as it goes, your calibration of your diet is really going to affect based on your metabolics, right? How does your body react to high amounts of protein? How does your body react to high amounts of fat or react to high amounts of carbohydrates? Because there are some people that they don't react well to high amounts of fat at all. They get the ketogen every time. I know a guy.
And what is ketogen? Please, viewers.
Oh, that's an explosion out of the asshole, man. It's the only way to explain it. Just, you paint the toilet, but.
Wow, very, very, very good way to put that. Shout out to Big O with the $5 donation via the TSR Towers donation link. That is www.streamlabs.com/Donovan Sharpe and the number 1. Got a question here from Pox Gucci. That's an interesting name. He wants to know what your thoughts are on intermittent fasting. Yeah,
definitely. I highly recommend doing it. I've been doing it for over a year now. I do the 24-in-1. So I fast 24 hours out of the day.
Okay.
And I don't eat except that one meal a day, which you've seen yourself. I mean, it's tremendous what it does, and the metrics across the board for what it does to your health is really tremendous, particularly in resting blood sugar or fasted blood sugar. Even testosterone levels and HGH levels will go up if you're in that.
Going back to number 2 here, Pine. It says your diet is not properly calibrated. Without getting too far in the weeds, what would you tell the average person? Okay, Pine, listen, I want to lose weight. I want to get into shape. How do I, Joe Average, how do I properly calibrate my diet?
Okay, so first off, I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a doctor. I am not a nutritionist. I would recommend you go see them. Now, if I were asking someone, what I would want to hear is, let's play with your diet a little bit. Let's see how we can tweak things. First thing I would tell you, get a scale. Get a scale. Measure everything you eat. I mean, everything I eat is legitimately measured and calibrated to that point. So I know that I'm eating 3 pounds of meat a day, right? Okay. Not all of it's meat. Probably about 1 pound of it is fat, depending on what I'm doing that day. If it's an off day, I may eat less. I may eat more if I trained really hard that day and that's we're kicking my ass. Let's see. You really want to play with it. It's a lot of it's just figuring out your body, because a nutritionist and a dietitian is going to do the same thing. They're going to give you a cookie cutter diet, and then they're going to say, all right, we're going to try and adjust by 5% here, 10% here. I want more carbs, or I want less carbs, because no one diet works for everybody.
Right.
You have to really get in there and try it. I know a couple guys who are really good on the vegan diet. It's astounding how good they function on the vegan diet. But there are guys that if they get on a vegan diet, they just shrivel up and die.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys. Yeah.
Yeah. I've played with the vegan diet too. It does not do me any favors. I actually get fatter on the vegan diet than I do on the carnivore diet.
No shit.
Yeah.
Why? Why do you get fatter on a vegan diet than the carnivore diet? That's interesting.
Because the sheer amount of carbohydrates I was taking in.
Okay, so there you go. If you're thinking about going vegan, you're going to carb up. That's good shit. We've got a testimonial in here from Captain Crunch 420. Says, I was 308 in 2014. Now I am 180. What did it for me was portion size and walking 5 miles a day, 3 times a week. So obviously Captain Crunch 420 had his scale. And a lot of people think, I don't want to measure my food, da, 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 da. You know what? If it's worth it to you, you'll do what it takes. Listen, what seems like an inconvenience at first will actually turn into something that you'll feel guilty about if you don't do it. Like when it comes to lifting weights, yeah, it sucks to have to be in the fucking weight room and this, and that, and the other. You have bad shoulder and this, and that, and the other. But when you get the benefits, you feel guilty about skipping it. Big O, his donation question was, how many meals do you eat a day? Also, he says, also do it carbs daily. Rewrite that, Big O. I think I might understand what the second part of your question is. I'll answer the first question. I eat 2 meals daily. I eat my post-workout meal, which is just a lot of calories because I just got done lifting weights, and then I eat dinner. I don't eat breakfast because I do a variation of intermittent fasting. The last time I eat is 8 o'clock in the morning. Is 8 o'clock at night. I wake up, I do my cup of coffee, I walk my dogs. Then I hit the weight room usually between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. By the time I get back here, it's 12 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock noon. So the first meal that I have of the day is lunch, meal number 1. So I will have fasted for 12 plus 16 hours. It's not the 24 that Pine does, but that's how many meals I eat a day. Pine, let him know how many meals you eat per day.
Yeah, I do 1 to 2 depending. On a heavy training day, I will eat 2 meals a day. I'll eat post-workout probably within an hour or so because I want to get autophagy, apoptosis, and a few other things going, a few other metabolic processes that help with cellular regeneration rather than division. But most of the time, I stick to my 1 meal a day. So I'll have my 1 meal at, say, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning because that's how my working schedule works right now.
Okay.
And it just works out for me.
Perfect. The second part of this question was, do you eat carbohydrates daily? The answer for me is yes. What about you?
No.
Okay, so there you go. You have 2 different answers from 2 different people. And listen, just like Pine said, not every diet is going to work for everybody. Sometimes it's just a matter of genetics. Sometimes it's just a matter of lifestyle. Sometimes it's just a matter of convenience versus inconvenience. It really, and this is what we're talking about when we say calibrate your diet, calibrate your lifestyle change. Because again, what works for me might not work for you. What works for Pine might not work for you. Now, you might take portions of what I've told you here today and portions of what Pine has told you today, and they will, and those things will work. But again, you have to, and you can't be lazy. You have to take the time to dial it in. Had another question here. Bruno Goetz wants to know are you familiar with water fasting?
Yeah, I've actually done water fasting. It's where you go an extended period of drinking nothing but water. You're not eating anything. I generally don't go more than 2 days on a fast. I mean, I can do a week. It's not a particularly pleasant experience, but it's not terrible.
Okay. All right. Very good. So you can get through it if you have your mind set on it.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Lone Revolver. I guess this is Keto 1-on-1. He wants to know, can you explain the state of being in ketosis? I know that seems a little bit remedial, but if one person has that question, then other people are probably thinking the same thing.
Okay. I'm going to basically break it down. Easy, quick. So when you get into ketosis, that means all your glycogen is depleted from your liver, from your muscles. So roughly about 200 to 280 grams, give or take, on the average person. So once that's completely depleted, your body no longer has blood sugar to run off of. So your body goes into a panic mode and proceeds to start breaking down the fat in your liver into what they call ketone bodies. Beta-hydroxybutyrate, acetocoenzyme A, beta-hydroxybutyrate is the big one. So that's what your body starts utilizing as a fuel source instead of sugars. At that point, you'll also create ammonia, actually. You'll exhale ammonia, and that's one of the signs you're in keto is if you're breathing and it smells real funky, that's ammonia.
Got it.
So that's a way you can tell you're in ketosis. A lot of guys use like the keto sticks. I don't recommend those because how much water you drink can actually dilute the amount of ketones in your urine. The best way is with a blood glucometer that particularly measures for ketone bodies. But yeah, when you're in ketosis, your body's burning the fat, making ketone bodies and running off that. No more sugar in your system.
Okay, very good. Let's see. Tato41 wants to know, do you take supplements? I'll go first on this one. No. I'll take kratom, but that's not a supplement. Supplements are a waste of money. Are there supplements out there that can help you? Yeah, but not enough to really matter, right? Like you go to GNC, muscle builder compound, and this will shred fat. No. Check this out. The only supplement that if you want to change your body, a lot of guys ask me because listen, you see definition in that after picture, right? You see the development of a six-pack in that picture. I didn't do that with supplements and fat diets. That is 100% hard work, watching my diet, synthetic testosterone and human growth hormone, guys. I'm not walking around with a fucking protein shake. I'm not walking around with fat burning pills. No, man, straight up testosterone and human growth hormone. Listen, and there's so many supplements that they're hawking out here that allegedly raise your testosterone. Alpha King, and you got Frank Thomas talking about Nugenics, and you got no, guys. All of that stuff is a waste of fucking money. When you go into GNC and you buy a bottle of Alpha Male, whatever the case, no, you are literally throwing money down the drain. Testosterone and HGH. Those are the two supplements I take. Those are not supplements. Those are substances. Those are performance-enhancing drugs that are banned in professional sports. Why have they banned them in professional sports? Because they work. Dude, bigger muscles, more stamina, more endurance. The reason they're banned is because they work. I don't waste money on multivitamins. I don't waste money on BCA. I mean, I'm sure all the BCAs and all that's. Listen, I've got a Ronnie Coleman pre-workout right there on my refrigerator. But the only reason I bought that is because it has 420 milligrams of slow release caffeine. That's the reason why I bought it, to keep my energy up. Other than that, it's 100% testosterone and HGH. What do you think?
I'm powered by 100% beef.
There it is.
Yeah, I get an insane amount of creatine from the beef. I get all the supplementation you would normally get in a more bioavailable form. Just saying, man. I don't take any supplements. I don't see a purpose to it. It doesn't benefit me any. I used to be an animal addict. I had the entire animal line, including all the vitamins, all the packs, you name it, I had it. And I see better results now just being on strictly beef than I ever did on all the supplements combined.
Right. Armando Moreno wants to know, is protein powder considered a supplement? Yes, it is considered a supplement.
Yeah.
And protein powder actually aids in muscle building. But again, and it's just not enough to matter. Like, the only time you should be taking protein powder is if you want to be a bodybuilder, because your muscles aren't, like, my muscles aren't going to get much bigger than they are. They're just not going to. So yeah, if you're and listen, I'm not saying you're an idiot if you buy protein powder. It certainly has its benefits. But if you're looking to build more muscle, protein powder can help, but not enough to matter. Oh, Marcus says his supplements are creatine monohydrate, vitamin D, omega-3 fish oil, liver NAC, and testosterone enanthate 250 milligrams per week. Here's what I will say. Testosterone replacement therapy can enhance all of these supplements, because look, the omega-3 fish oil is great for your cardiovascular system. It's great for the heart, great for the veins. Creatine helps you to become stronger. It increases, and again, I don't think that there are no anabolic properties to creatine. If there are anabolic properties to creatine, it's very minuscule, but TRT can certainly help enhance those. But the thing you put right there at the end, 250 milligrams per week of testosterone enanthate. That's all there is to it. And of course, Miami J talks about the fact that he has been on TRT for the last 2 months after 18 months on heavy supplements, including protein. And of course, Marcus co-signs on that. Retro Fran wants to know, is keto bad for your liver and kidneys?
No, it's not. There's no conclusive evidence to show that it is. Granted, also by token, there's no conclusive evidence to show that there isn't. Lack of evidence isn't evidence of absence, or something to that effect.
Sure.
The point on it is we have a serious amount of data on a ketogenic diet from the 1920s from the Mayo, or 1930s from the Mayo Clinic on. It's not a new fad diet that a lot of people will tell you, oh, it's just a fad diet. Personally, I think it's one of the more well-researched diets, and we have a greater body of evidence. It was actually used in a clinical setting. It's been used to treat illnesses, vice a lot of the other diets. And a lot of these diets that are coming out now, like the Mediterranean diet, right. A lot of these are just coming out from epidemiological studies where they study a group of people and kind of say, well, these people eat like this, so that means it must be healthy because the whole group, well, they all share a similar genetic makeup. You know, there's no guarantee that it's going to work in that region. Or it may work from people from that region, but like with me, for instance, the what was it called? Veganism, for instance.
Right.
Veganism does not work for me. I get ridiculously large when I start eating vegan. I can't do it. But if I eat strictly fat and meat, I'm good.
Right. Yeah. I mean, obviously, right. And again, you guys can see Pine's before and after pictures on his Facebook. So let's go to number 3 here. Brandon Storeball wants to know, how do you get testosterone therapy? Yeah, go to the doctor. And if you're, and I don't listen, if you're under the age of, if you are under the age of 35, there's no need to go to your doctor and get on TRT unless your testosterone levels are under 400 nanograms per deciliter. If you're not 35 and your testosterone is under 400 nanograms per deciliter, then yeah, and again, I'm not a doctor, but that's where it needs to be. And listen, you'll go to the doctor and they'll say, well, your T levels are normal. You don't want normal T levels. What he's talking about, your T levels are normal for your age according to the median population. Well, guess what? When you get to be 41 years old like I am, and you're at 300 nanograms per deciliter, your doctor is going to tell you, hey, your T levels are normal. There are places to, I mean, you can go on the clear web and find all kinds of testosterone. I don't really know of any place that you can find it, but I mean, you can find testosterone being sold on the clear web. You just be creative, be very creative. That's what I'll tell you. Ryan Sullivan says, just make sure you take a multivitamin on the keto diet. Very hard to get a series of macronutrients from meat alone. What do you think about that?
Well, I can say this much. I don't supplement. I eat strictly red meat.
Okay.
My vitamins seem to be in balance. I mean, if you've ever seen someone with a vitamin or mineral deficiency, It's not something that's just over time. It's just there, and then all of a sudden you fall over dead. No, it manifests itself in particularly vicious ways. One of the big things I always get told is you're going to die because you don't eat vitamin C. Your teeth are going to fall out.
Right.
Well, okay, no, my teeth are fucked up, but yeah, that's what happens when you take a brick to the face. No, but all joking aside, though, the thing is, you get all your vitamins. You can get vitamin C, you get vitamin D, you can get your B vitamins. Most bioavailable B vitamins you can get come from beef. You can't get them from any other source to that extent. I would just say that people are saying you need to supplement. I don't. I really don't. I eat strictly beef, salt, and water.
Wow.
That's it. Maybe I'll throw in some fish every now and then, or I'll throw in some eggs. I don't eat chicken because there's almost no nutritional value to chicken other than protein and a little bit of fat. It's basically a worthless meat. I mean, it tastes good, yeah, but
right.
It's not fulfilling. I can eat a whole rotisserie chicken and within 2 hours be hungry again.
Yeah, it is kind of like just a filler. It never really fills you up like beef.
No. I mean, I eat 3 pounds of beef and I'm set for the day. Yeah, but that's one thing we got to do next time we get together is we got to go to a Brazilian steakhouse and burn it down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, listen, most def. Let's go to your third point here. The third reason why your diet isn't working is you're on the wrong diet. You said in here, you said, I see this being a common issue with people. I've been talking to a lot of people's diets. I'm seeing keto and carnivore not working for some people. So explain what you mean when you say you're on the wrong diet.
Okay, so this comes back to experimenting on yourself. You got to find out what works and what doesn't. Like with me, once again, veganism doesn't work. But if I go on a strict carnivore diet, it does work. But also, this comes back to number 2 is you have to calibrate your diet. I know a lot of guys who do lazy keto where they just kind of like, as long as I'm eating high fat, they're good. No, it doesn't work like that. You need to control the numbers, adjust and tweak. Because when you hit an optimal setting in your diet that's really causing you to lose or gain or do whatever you want, your body will adapt to that very quickly. You'll reach a level of equilibrium, right?
Okay.
And then you'll stop seeing these advances. So what do you have to do? You have to recalibrate it. You're in that constant battle between optimization and adaptation. So like for me, I know when I was at keto, I'd hit the end of my calibration limits. I've tried just about every calibration I could do, and it just didn't want to work. Down to 0.5% of things. 0.5% difference in carbohydrates, 0.5% difference in fats, stuff like that. And it wasn't working. Then I went full carnivore, which is pretty straightforward and easy. Just eat meat. Make sure you're hitting a higher amount of fat than you are protein, though. But it works out that way. You got to make sure that the diet you're on is working for your body type. Because there are some people, like I said, I've seen who can do a vegan diet and their body responds phenomenally to it.
Right.
If I were to put them on carnivore, their body would have a heart attack. They would be just falling apart at the seams. So there's no one size fits all solution. You got to get in there and you got to experiment with everything. Try a couple diets. It may work well for you for a while. And then you notice it just will taper off and stop. And then you'll be like, well, it was working so well. What did I do wrong? Well, you didn't do anything wrong. You've just been doing what you're doing. Your body optimized itself to that diet because we're incredibly adaptable. I mean, we've survived in some of the harshest climates around the world for thousands of years,
It's amazing that you can abuse the human body you can abuse the human body for a decade, and then you can spend a good year to year and a half. You can completely heal all the damage. It's amazing, it really is.
Well, I don't know about completely heal the damage, but you can definitely do a pretty amount of reversal. Actually, one of your guys, Armando Moreno, asked me if I hit the gym, and the answer is yes, I do. Yeah. I do heavy lifting. I do the 5-3-1 program. It's a great program if you want to start out, really get into it. I like it because it's reduces my likelihood of injury. And as you get older, your likelihood of injury gets up there.
Yes, absolutely. BK from the Rocky says, wow, that sounds like a lot of red meat. How is Pine's blood pressure? Does it stay consistent and low? Good question.
Yeah, well, here's the thing that's really going to bake your noodle too. I take in about 12,000 grams or milligrams of sodium a day. That's 12 grams a day of sodium. The World Health Organization, the USDA, say 1 gram a day. So I'm taking in 12 times that. My blood pressure, perfect. I forgot what my last reading was, but I think I was 90/120.
Okay.
So
well, that's actually pretty low.
Yeah, I'm actually perfectly fine.
Or 90 over 120.
So again,
is it 90 over 120 or 120 over 90?
I don't remember. I have my chart over there somewhere. I can grab it in a bit and we look at it.
You're not in any danger. King Nick wants to know what sort of fats are recommended for a keto diet.
Okay, so a lot of people, avocados, great source of fats. Fatty meats, beef in particular. The cheaper, the fattier the cut, the better. Let's see, a lot of fishes, oily fishes. A lot of people like sardines. I'm not a huge fan. Let's see, you could do cod. Salmon is a great one. A lot of avocado. A lot of people do nuts like almonds and stuff like that. Let's see. Yeah, just take your pick on the oils. Try and stay away from canola oil. Stay away from vegetable oil. Stay away from corn oil. Anything with soy, stay the hell away from soy, and not for the reason that most people would think. I was doing research. I'm in the process of doing research in soy and how it affects the body. So that'll be an interesting episode to do later on.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, let's, I think we've answered enough questions. If you guys have any additional questions, put them in the chat, but I'd like to steer the last 10, 15 minutes of the episode to the 21 convention. And Miami J wanted me to ask you how your first experience with Kratom was at the 21 convention. I don't think I heard about this either. I think he might be trying to troll you, dude.
I can neither confirm nor deny any such allegations at this time, but no, it was interesting. That's the first time I've ever tried it, and it worked pretty well.
Good, very good. Yep, told you.
It's pretty good. I don't know if it's something I could do all the time, but
yeah, it's, it depends on what your purposes are. But yeah, give me your review on the 21 convention. Talk about what you liked about it, who you got to meet, et cetera, et cetera. Because I mean, we haven't talked about. You and I haven't talked about the 21 convention on the air. That went down about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it did. And there's still some things going on with that I can't quite talk about yet. But for the most part, so a big thank you to you for getting me in as one of the volunteers. And it's actually kind of hilarious that the two volunteers you brought in, myself and Miami J, we ended up running a good portion of the show.
Right.
Within the first day or two of us being there. No, it was a good time. I met all the speakers. I got pictures with pretty much everybody.
Yeah, you guys trolled me while you were there. You were trolling all of the guys. You trolled me with Alan Roger Curry, Rolo Tomasi, or he trolled me with all. I mean, I'm sitting here in my studio. I'm like, God damn it, you guys can't wait till I get there. Like my plane lands in 12 hours. That was funny.
Yeah, well, we had to give you shit. We're like, hurry up, motherfucker. we thought you were going to be there the whole week, but No.
I was only I flew in on Friday. Of course, Devin, she couldn't, she could only take off. I mean, she could have taken off more time, but there's no need to take off more time than was necessary. But it ended up working out very, very well. Yeah, it's too bad we didn't really get the chance to go out and watch you run game in real life. That would have been interesting. With Devin there, that would have been great.
It was me and Miami J basically tearing it up. It was great. So we were working the 21 convention from like 7 o'clock in the morning to like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. We'd get off, we'd run back to the hotel, shower, and then back out to like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning running game and trying to do pickup. It was terrible. It was a terrible time because the Gay Pride week was there. Yeah, we were bombing out every single Saturday. But it was a good time. I had a blast, and that's when I tried the Kratom, and it was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, it gave me a little bit of pep.
Did it make you fearless with girls or what?
Oh, I don't need Kratom to do that.
There it is. That's the right answer.
Oh man, you should know by now. I mean, I'm a little more aggressive than most people. I don't really have the approach anxiety like most people do. Good. I blame all the red meat, man. It's clogged my brain, turned me into a damn caveman.
Hey, man, that's what we want. We need more Neanderthals in the world.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, the 21 con was cool, man. It was great to and shout out to Miami J. He picked us up at the airport, which was very, very cool. The 21 convention was man, it was an experience that I'll never forget. I'll definitely be going next year. Hopefully I can make the one in Poland. I'll definitely be able to make the one in Orlando. And, like I was telling you guys before we all flew out, is we're really on the ground floor of something big, man. Anthony is looking to, and he made the announcement at 21Con, he is looking to erect a multi-million-dollar building for 21 Studios, and he is currently looking for investors. So he is really, he's serious. He is looking for something. He's looking to do something on a global scale. And, to be a part of something like that, to be a part of something that is literally going to change the world, I feel very fortunate to be a part of that. And I'm glad that you two are definitely along for the ride with me, man.
Yeah, man, we can't thank you enough. I'm one of those people where I'm going to go check it out and be along for the ride as much as I can within limits. I still have the day job, so I don't want to get doxxed.
All right.
Well, I'm already taking the big risk being here, but
sure.
But anyway,
they can dox me all they want to. Y'all listen, y'all can come and find me, man. I'm waiting on y'all. Shit, dude. I would love for some purple-haired feminist with some soy boy coming to my apartment with a cup of water or something. No, dude. Oh my god, dude. I would tell the girl, here, hold this, okay, and you can film me beating the brakes off of your soy boy. Armando Moreno says, hey, Donovan, will you be a part of the 22 convention? Yes, I will. I will most assuredly be one of the featured speakers at the 22 convention, which is going to be in the spring of 2020. And that's going to be very interesting. The 22 convention, for those of you who don't know, it is how can I put this? It's the sister campaign of the 21 convention. It was interesting because I almost let the cat out of the bag when we were doing the Red Man Group live. Somebody asked us, will there ever be a female speaker at the 21 convention? And I was like, well, fuck no. I said, but if there were a 32 convention is what I called it, I don't know, maybe increasing limits. If there was a woman's version of the 21 convention, call it the 32 convention, I imagine that there probably would be. I don't think that, and what I was trying to say was that if there were a 32 convention, in other words, not called the 32 convention, but if women put together their version of the 21 convention, then I imagine you'd probably have female speakers there. But there will never be a female speaker at the 21 convention, ever. There are not going to be female speakers at the 22 convention. It is for women by men. And the main reason for that is because we want to. Like, a lot of women have come out, well, why don't you want women speaking at the 22 convention? Well, number one, because we just don't want you to speak, right? For no other reason. But if we're going to go beta and explain shit to you, here's the reason. You guys women have had 60 years to get this right, and they can't get it right. And if women have shown us anything over the last 6+ decades, is that A, they cannot be trusted to their own devices, and B, they give shitty relationship advice. So this is why the 22 convention has been constructed. I can't wait. What are your thoughts on the 22 convention, Pine?
Right now, I have no comment on that because I don't know much about what's going on. So until I know more, I can't say much.
Fair enough. Let's see. Marcus says, I heard that soy drops testosterone levels. Yes, it does. Absolutely.
Actually, I can touch on that real quick.
All right.
The amount of soy you would have to intake would be pretty hefty to have a massive impact. Now, granted, any amount of soy is going to affect, but to what degree is depending on intake.
Right.
Where I've seen most of this, the research that indicates the soy does the most damage is in third trimester prenatal, postnatal development.
Okay.
So if the mother's taking in a lot of soy when she's pregnant, it's going to definitely have a massive impact on the hormones of the fetus. Specifically if it's male.
Holy.
And where the most damage I think gets done is postnatal when they're growing, if they're being fed soy-based baby formula.
Oh my!
That's going to have a tremendous effect on the endocrine system. I mean, the hormonal system will be completely messed with. You got to think it's way more potent at that size and that weight.
Of course.
So you could even make the claim that a lot of these soy boys were soy boys when they were in the womb and when they came out. That's where the damage was done.
James E. Jr. wants to know if O'Shea is going to be at the one in Poland. I don't know. You'll have to ask O'Shea. Armando says, I can't imagine women listening to Donovan's advice. Listen, they ain't got to, right? Listen, and we say this shit all the time on the Red Man group on Saturdays. Listen, man, like we're not telling you what you want to hear. We're telling you what you need to hear. And I think that men have figured out when it comes to red pill truth, we have figured out that we listen, it's not going to be shit that you want to hear, man. It's going to really fuck with your mind because it's telling you, hey, you're fucked up and you need to change. But that's just how it is, man. Like if and you know, one of my crazy spin instructors, we call him Spin Bob. He's a nutcase. He says if it doesn't, sort of a cliche, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change it. It's the same thing with the red pill. That's how that is. Sharpe Assist wants to know: does soy raise estrogen or lower testosterone? Which does it do, or does it do both?
That's something that's going to get deep in the weeds with it. But yes and no. That's about the best I can say without going into a long, detailed explanation.
Miami J says, if I'm still with this main chick when 22Con comes around, I am purchasing the first ticket for her. Oh my God. Miami J also asks this. Is it me or are all the speakers at 22Con going to be swimming in pussy? You know, it's interesting because when Devin found out about the 22 convention, she saw the writing on the wall immediately. Like she is all listen, rightfully so. She's all concerned and, you know, she's telling me I don't want women coming up and all these, you know, asking you for advice. Basically, she's worried about the groupies. I don't know that groupies are going to be a problem. It's going to be the same price as it is the 21 convention. I don't know that women would pay that kind of money to get access to what they would characterize as high quality dick. But what they also have to understand is that men like us also have women. Like you're not the only ones we're attracted to. So yeah, maybe, listen, man, maybe some of the speakers, I know Goldman is probably going to fuck his share of 22 convention attendees. Cause he is, you know, he's the consummate player, but, yeah, listen, I mean, Pine, I don't know, man, maybe you'll be a part of the security team at the 22 convention. If you are, I imagine that it will probably be a target rich environment. What do you think?
I'm not going to say anything on this. I'm just going to like smile and say,
"Oh, comment! I love it. I love it."
Hey, remember, man, I was a government man for many years. And my no comment skills are there. But, no, actually, Miami J and I got to see Goldman doing his magic live. You know, he was watching him run his game on the street. Dude, that guy is. Oof.
Yeah.
Like when he gave his number, his end count, I was like, I believe it. I believe it when he said his end count.
He's legit, man. He is Goldman is as legit as there ever was. And it's funny, like talking to him for the first time, I was like, you know, you can tell that's one thing that the 21 convention said to me is that every one of us, like, we're the real fucking deal. And this is what I like about Anthony Johnson. He doesn't just go out and say, okay, well, this guy has a YouTube channel and he talks shit about women. So I'm like, no. He vetted. This is what Roosh did too. Like guys like Anthony. If you're gonna have other guys on your platform, if you're gonna have other guys representing you to the public, you got to make sure that we're the real fucking deal. Mm-hmm. All of us there, man. We practice what we preach. We talk the talk. We walk the fucking walk, man. And anybody that met me at the 21 convention, they absolutely know that I am the same on camera as I am off camera. And so I'm glad that I'm glad that I was able to sort of verify that everyone is exactly who we are portrayed to be. Miami J says hashtag team throat coat. That was actually a part of our 21 convention goodie bag, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, that was a running gag between the volunteers and staff, the throat coat.
That is
that and Puerto Rican Jesus, but that's another story altogether. No, man, it was great just to see everybody who walks the walk. And you know, when I met Devin, I saw exactly that you put into work what you actually do. Like when you talk about training your woman, you had Devin trained. I can't say anything. I was like, yep, I see it. You are the real deal. And, you know, I'm going to do a shameless plug here on it. But, you know, if anybody out there is wondering whether or not Donovan's worth the money, I'm telling you, dude, do a consultation. I did one with him back in February. Him and Kevin Samuels, you know.
That long, man. Jesus.
Yeah, it was the best $99 I've ever spent. No shit, you know. I got so much out of it. I ended up making an awesome friend too out of it. Awesome friends. And anybody who saw me at the convention too, you got to see the kind of person I am, you know. Donovan attracts a similar group of people, some people who have a similar personality, you know. That's what you're getting part of. And what I was thinking would be interesting is if we could get for the next 21 convention, get a group of us all together, get some T-shirts made, and call ourselves the Sharpe team or something like that.
Yeah, there we go. Hashtag Kevin in sales, right?
Oh, that would be. Everybody have hi, my name is Kevin from sales on the.
What's your name? I'm Kevin, and he's also Kevin. Well, what do you guys do? We're all in sales. King Nick says, I don't know any women 18 to 35, which are millennials, who can afford a 22 convention ticket. That same price as the 21 convention tickets. You may end up with nothing but cougars. You know what? This is actually interesting, man. I think that most 22 convention attendees are probably going to be older women. Because the thing is this, man, and I know we're kind of getting off the topic here because I've actually got to end this thing here pretty soon, is that younger women don't feel like they need any sort of dating advice. As long as they have men who want to fuck them, they don't really think that there's anything that they have to do. Well, they're only partially right. You see, because when a woman's in her 20s, men want to fuck them all the time. And that's all men want from them. And that's all well and good until you're looking for a long-term relationship. So when they're not quite as attractive as they are in their 20s, guess what? Men still only want to fuck you. The thing is when they're in their 20s, men want to fuck you. They also want to lock you down. But you're not interested in being locked down because you think you're going to look like you're 23 years old forever. But when you're 33, 35, 38 years old, doesn't quite work that way. I think most of the attendees, and listen, I could be completely wrong. Anthony's given a mother-daughter discount just like he gave a father-son discount. But yeah, my guess is that most women at the 22 convention are probably going to be post-wall, which will be very interesting.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct. I don't see many younger girls because either they're too busy with Anthony or they're too busy with me or they're too busy with Miami J to be coming to a convention. Oh my gosh. Actually, I'll tell you guys a little Tinder warning. So I had a girl about 19, really cute, really hit it off strong. She was being very aggressive out the gate. And I was thinking, okay, maybe my red pill shift has come in. But in the back of my head, the little red pill warning bells were going off. So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to play this too loose. I'm going to play it smart. Well, as we start talking throughout the night, she was like, hey, you want to do your place or mine? I was like, all right, well, we'll do your place. And then she hit me with, oh, I can't, my roommate's sleeping. All right, well, fuck it, come to my place. And then she's like, this is where she tipped me off that she's scamming me. She said, oh, yeah, I don't have money for gas. And I was like, shit. As soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, well, sadly, I don't really have any money either. I'm pretty much flat broke.
You know what? Neither do I. We have something else in common.
And it was funny because she was like, oh, come on, I need a little bit for gas. I'll come over to your place. I was like, you know what? I have $10 in my wallet. You come over and I'll flip you the 10. Boom. And then she was like, no, hey, why don't we use this Cash App? And I was like, as soon as I heard the Cash App.
Jesus, hell, man.
Hey, she was running some damn good games. She did video chat with me. She sent me pictures. I mean, she was thirst trapping like a pro, and I got to give her some damn credit. But when I said, no, I've seen a lot of scams going down like that, immediately she blocked me and threw a report on me.
Yep, probably working on her next mark. Wow.
Yeah, just be forewarned on that. And I got a Tinder bio for y'all to try out. Ivan Throne put up a tweet not too long ago where he said something along the lines of, if you can't pick up your woman, throw her over your shoulder, carry her up the stairs and plunder her till she can't speak or till she's a mess or something like that, then you're weak. And one of two things, either you're weak or she's fat.
Right.
Exactly. You saw the tweet then.
Oh, yeah.
So I put that as my Tinder bio, but shortened it up and changed up a few things. I've had tremendous hits with that. Good. I highly recommend it. Okay. I get girls always asking me, so you're going to carry me up the stairs? Yeah.
If you play your cards right, maybe.
Or one asked me, she asked me, what did she say? She's like, oh, what's the deal with your profile? And she messaged me first. I said, it's what I do. And if you're interested, I'll extend you the offer.
Hashtag team throat coat.
And she got the coding. So
good shit, man. On that note, I'm going to go ahead and bring this bad boy to a conclusion. Pine, thank you again for making it for us. You're always welcome on the show, man. You always come with the knowledge. And again, and it's good that you don't get too far into the weeds, right? Like I like the way you say, okay, well, look, don't want to get too far in the weeds. I like how you dumb it down for us idiots out here. So any final words? Stop eating shit. Own it.
Own your shit.
Oh my God. Thank you for watching the 354th edition of TSR Live. Again, I will have, let's see, I'm going to have Modern Life Dating tomorrow at 10. I've got 2 shows tomorrow. 10, I'm actually going to be on the air 3 times tomorrow. At 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern time, I'm going to have Modern Life Dating, how to kill it at Tinder. 5 o'clock, I'm going to have Miami J on talking about the midterm elections. And then at 7 o'clock, I am going, of course, I'll be making my my appearances on the Brother Pill. I'm on the Brother Pill Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time p.m. So look for me. Listen, I'll be all over YouTube. Again, Pine, thanks for making time for us tonight, and we will see you next time.
Peace.